I am Venki, and this is the Working Athlete Podcast. Here, I talk to working athletes from all walks of life and experts from various sports to provide you with inspiration, training tips, time management, and lifestyle advice. If this is something that interests you, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future episodes. Today's guest, Dr. Amit Samarth, is one of the strongest ultra cyclists from India who successfully finished the race across America twice, once in 2017 and again this year in 2023. Amit has been on the podcast multiple times, sharing his earlier experiences in RAAM 2017, Trans-Siberian Extreme, and more recently, the race across India. In this episode, he shares his experience at RAAM 2023. It is mind boggling to know that he was hospitalized with mountain sickness and lost almost an entire day, but still managed to get back on the bike and finish the race strong. He talks in detail about that experience as well as the success of their fundraising campaign to raise funds for Akshayapatra Foundation. It is really great to see Indian ultra cyclists grow from strength to strength. I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I did. This episode is brought to you by The Bike Affair. If you are in search of a one stop destination that caters to all your cycling needs, our today's sponsor, The Bike Affair, is the perfect place to check out. I have known the founders of The Bike Affair, Krish and Gokul, personally for nearly 15 years now. In fact, my first century ride was with Krish back in 2008. They are both exceptional human beings and entrepreneurs that believe in providing exceptional service to their customers, and it shows. With over 14 years of experience, the Bike Affair has established itself as a trusted source offering honest advice and exceptional service. They are offering a special treat for the listeners of this podcast. You can enjoy a 10% discount on your first order by using the code BikeyVenki on their website. So if you are in Hyderabad, visit their store in Kondapur, or if you are anywhere else in India, shop online by using the link thebikeaffair.com. I will leave the link in the show notes. Now, enjoy the podcast. Hey Amit, welcome to the Working Athlete Podcast. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Venki.
And congrats again for your amazing RAM uh, finish. This is
Yeah,
your this was your second successful finish, right?
yeah. This is my second successful RAM. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. The first one being back in 2017, and now after nearly 6 years, you went back.
Yeah.
So, what what were the learnings from the first time that you found useful? This time, or helpful this time to complete it.
Learnings were quite a lot actually. When in 2017, when I had gone, I was like very novice. I was like very novice into, I would say, long distance cycling. So my only goal last time was to to just finish within 12 days, and because at that time finishing within 12 days itself was a very big humongous task, or it was at that time it was a dream to just finish race across America. But yeah, this time, after Race Across America, I had done Trans-Siberian Extreme, and then I had done Golden Quadrilateral, then some very, fast 1,000 kilometer rides, and then I had done Kashmir to Kanyakumari in Race Across India. So this time I had a lot of experience, and I think mentally also I was very strong. So I went with quite a lot of experience, and uh, so yeah, I had more experience, and so I think I was able to handle all the problems during this RAM. Even though I had problems, I was still I was able to get back into the race. So I'm happy about it.
Amazing, man. So definitely compared to last time, in these last 6 years since your last attempt, you have gained, like you just mentioned, all this experience across different races, and
Yes, yes.
just a few months back you did the race across India, 3,500 odd kilometers successfully, uh, and that these all kind of uh, bring a wealth of experience in dealing with a lot of situations, right? So one, you would have, I would guess that your nutrition would have, the way you handle nutrition would have been quite
Yes,
different.
yes.
So let us talk a little bit. Okay, let us uh, deal with one thing that I was really surprised this time, was that you actually fell sick and almost went about almost not finishing the race. Let us talk about that incident. What was this? When was this? And how did that happen? The
Yeah,
mountain sickness.
yeah, I was doing very well in the race actually, and I was I think in top. I was leading almost. I was like just exchanging positions with other riders, and I was like in top first, second, or third. So I was doing well. Only thing, when I was going more towards Colorado, there is this time station, Montezuma Creek. So after Montezuma Creek, the next time station is Cortez, and from Cortez, the next is Durango. So Durango is where the Rocky Mountain starts, and the Colorado, the actual state of Colorado. Actually, you are in the actual state of Colorado, and so you are actually gaining more and more elevation, and you're going more and more into the altitude. So so yeah, there were a lot of climbs itself in between Montezuma Creek and Cortez and all. But so I started little bit of shortness of breath, and uh, so I immediately understood, maybe, there we are in the mountains, we are going more towards the big mountains, and so maybe that might be the one of the reason why I'm having this shortness of breath. And so it was. So then I informed my crew also, and then we, instead of taking break in Durango, we took a 2 hour sleep break in Cortez. Just so that I'm more rested and settled, and then I can go more into towards mountains. And I started drinking also a lot of more water, because you need to hydrate a lot if you are gonna get, if you are getting some problem in mountains, and if there is a mountain sickness issue. So that's what we started doing. But and then from Cortes to Durango, I again did the ride, and I was very fine. I didn't had any problem with shortness of breath. And and then in Durango, from Durango onwards, we started going towards the big mountains, the Pagosa Springs, and then the Wolf Creek Pass, because Wolf Creek Pass is the highest point in the race. It is like 11,000 feet, and so during Wolf Creek Pass, I actually, when I was climbing Wolf Creek Pass, I actually, that whole problem become very extremely severe, and very, very severe. And I was not able to breathe, and I couldn't do anything about it much.
Yeah, if you are not able to breathe, what else is there to?
sweating also a lot. So I realized. What happened is I then uh, I told my crew also that it is because it is I said it is very unusual because in 2017 I was like easily able to climb this whole thing, and I think there is some problem with this mountain sickness, and maybe my oxygen saturation levels are very low, and that is why I'm not able to climb this very of course it's a very big climb because it's a 10-11 kilometer climb, and you almost gain like 1500-meter elevation in 10 to 11 kilometers, so it is quite a significant big climb, and you very quickly you go into up. So that I think triggered that whole thing again, and it became very severe. So and I was not able
Which
to
day
do.
was this?
This was this was third day, like yeah, just we had started the fourth day, and finished the third day. So in between third and fourth day, this happened. Just we had finished the third day, and the like 3 days, 3 days 2 hours, or 3 days 3 hours. It happened, and
Right.
uh, this yeah, in the afternoon only this happened around like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., something like that. So then I told my crew, like, I was so out of breath, like, I said that this is no, it is very slow to climb this. So I actually better walk. So I walked with the bike because you can walk with the bike because you can progress by walking also. So I said
Right.
just another 1.5 mile and I will be at the summit. And once I am at the summit, then we can go down. So I honestly telling, I walked with the bike because I thought it is little easy maybe on my respiration and
Breathing.
all,
Yeah.
breathing, and it will relax me also in some way. So it was very, yeah, being a strong rider, it was quite embarrassing. But I walked with the bike, and I got to the summit, and then we stopped at the summit because I was very tired, and I literally was. I even thought at one point of time that I should call 911 because it was very. I thought this is because I was not able to breathe at all,
Hmm.
and um, uh, then my crew said that it is better to go downhill, and if you can ride the bike downhill, because now it is all 25 next 25 30 kilometers all downhill, and you will lose all this elevation, and even though you rest here it is not possible to recover because you are in low oxygen zone. So you better
Right.
go downhill, and there at least you will be able to recover because there will be more oxygen available at the lower altitudes. So so I thought so that's what then after some little bit of rest I got onto the bike, and I went downhill. Actually, it is all dangerous to do because because my oxygen saturation levels are low, and so my brain is also getting less oxygen.
Right.
So the reaction times can be very slow. So and you are going downhill, and if there is one mistake, you know what can happen if there is a
Right.
one.
Going fast on those downhills,
Yeah.
and if your reaction time is slow, uh, it can anything can happen, right? That it is in fact quite dangerous. But you managed to go down.
So
How?
I managed to go down, and then I went to the next time station, which is South Fork. So which is like still at altitude, but at very lower altitude as compared to Wolf Creek Pass. So I managed to go down, and then I told my crew that we should find a doctor or a hospital, and I think it's a medical problem, and we will need to correct it, because we will not be able to correct it on the bike, or just ride slow on the bike and it will get corrected and all, because I don't think it will happen, because this is a quite a big medical problem with me. So then the crew, by the time I reached South Fork and all, so my crew had found a hospital nearby, and then we stopped at South Fork, and we informed the race organizers and all that that there is a problem, and Amit needs to go off the race track, off the race route, and get some medical help. So we went to the hospital from there, and uh, it was a very very nice hospital, Rio Grande, the hospital in South Fork. And immediately there was a big emergency team, and they immediately started my treatment. And good thing is, there were no other patients in emergency department. I was the only person, and so
Hmm.
that they were able to focus all their energies onto me. And immediately they did all the blood test, and they did X-ray, and then they immediately started my IV fluids, and all the medications and all. They immediately started, and it was amazing to experience that whole thing. And they're extremely caring, and they understood that I'm part of this race across America, and I'm riding. And so I told them, that. Uh, uh, so actually, they actually suggested the doctor. Then he saw all the and I was like, my SpO2 levels were very low, like 80 and all. So I
Hmm.
was put on oxygen and all. So then they were. Then actually the doctor said that you will need at least 3 days of. You should get admitted here. You should at least stay here for 2 3 days, and you need a full treatment and all. And so he gave his medical advice. And so I told him
Hmm.
that I'm part of the race across America and all, and I'm riding. And so we
You need to
actually
go get going as soon as possible because you
yeah.
were
And he was like, initially he said, your condition is not so great, and but then he understood. Then we actually mutually discussed, and then we actually mutually agreed to a treatment. And I said that I will be here for, you can keep me here for another 4 5 hours, and give me all the treatment and IV fluids and all, and then you should uh, 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 you should discharge me. And I told him that it was agreed that I will take all the oral medications and all. And and then like we agreed that I will go to some hotel and sleep. So
okay.
yeah, so I went to a hotel, and I slept for another 5 6 7 hours non-stop, because that whole episode was very exhausting on me mentally.
Right.
So I slept for 6 7 hours, and actually I slept for 3 hours, and then I got up, and then I ate a lot of food. Then again I slept off for another 3 4 hours. So it helped me to recover in a big way. And
Right.
I was drinking a lot of water and all. And so my crew helped me to, uh, they cooked food in the night, and they got me all the food needed. And so we were able to do that. And I was ready to go next day morning. I myself initiated. Everyone, I said, let's start little, like not in early morning, little late in the morning when it is little sunny and all, and little warm, so that it helps me to ride, to get warmed up quickly rather than starting in a very cold conditions.
Right.
So, so we started again in the race. So we also discussed with our project manager, project director, and all. Because there were so many stakeholders involved in this, and I was also riding for Akshayapatra Foundation and doing fundraising and all. So we thought, to to salvage the race. Like at least I should be able to finish within 12 days, because I had done almost 1,000 kilometers, more than 1,000 kilometers in 3 days. So I had only left to 2,000 miles. Sorry, I'm saying 1,000 miles were done in 3 days, and then I had 2,000 miles left. So we thought, we have done quite a good in first 3 days, and we can afford to lose this time. What we can do about it? Because we already
So,
had lost
how many hours did you lose?
19 hours. I was 19 hours off the race, and actually, I know lot of people thought that now I'm not gonna come back because
No, because it is a big chunk, right? That is like almost a day
yeah,
out, and the last time you did complete the race, it was almost to the cutoff. Like they
yeah,
were
yeah,
quite
yeah.
close to the cutoff.
Yes.
So it is quite natural to think that losing a day would almost be certain that you
Yeah,
might not make it, right?
yes. So even
Hmm.
our crew members also. So we discussed together, and we said we will, at least I will try to. I still have a lot of time left, and I should, means the idea was to just to ride first. Don't worry about the speed and all. Just to start riding and feeling good on the bike, and then once I start feeling good on the bike, then I can go faster, and I can, I can push the speed, and I can save time on all sleep breaks and all later on. So that was our idea, and that's how we started. And to give a successful story to everyone, to my crew members, and to our sponsors and our fundraising partners. So that was the whole, responsibility towards everyone. So so I started back in the race, uh, uh, we and then I started feeling good, and but like after going another 40-50 kilometers, the weather was very bad ahead. There was massive storm kind of a thing going on, and raining, and it was very windy, and we had hailstorm also in between. So for another 1 hour in between, the weather was very bad, and I was like uh, uh, very disheartened. Like I thought I expected a nice sunny weather.
Right.
And what is this? I don't want this right now. so uh, we were, but it cleared off. But I could see, a clear weather in the front. So that
Hmm.
actually, kept me going, because I could see clear sky little ahead, and I said, let's keep on going this way. We didn't stop anywhere, and I was just wearing rain jacket and all, and we made it through that particular 1 hour of rough weather, and then we had very clear weather ahead, and then we actually had another big mountain pass to get through, because we were still in Colorado. We were losing elevation, but still there were a lot of big climbs ahead, and in between there was one place called as La Veta and Trinidad City. So there is a very big climb in between La Veta and Trinidad, and it is almost as big as Wolf Creek Pass. You again
Hmm.
hit the same, like above 3,000 meters of elevation in that, above sea level in that particular place. So
Hmm.
so I was a little, So we went with very little caution, and because I didn't wanted to again get that problem.
Right.
Good thing is nothing happened, and because of all the treatment I got in the hospital and all that rest, so I got through that whole thing, and then we were in Trinidad City after that, and because we lost like almost. From 3000 meters we were like below 2000 meters now in
Hmm.
Trinidad City. And then from Trinidad City actually you are like almost like you have gone like you have passed through the Colorado like the big mountains, and then you are going more towards the Kansas, so you are
Hmm.
losing a lot of elevation all the time. So that's what kept me riding, and actually I went non-stop 31 hours after that. Like once I
Wow.
started hospital I went non-stop 31 to 32 hours, and actually I wanted to do more, but my crew was, they said you have just got out of hospital and you were riding non-stop for last 32 hours. So, so they
How
let me stop and take a sleep break.
hmm.
And but yeah, that whole 32 hours of non-stop riding really helped me to get back into the race, and then I was confident that I will be actually I can make this, like I can still reach the finish line within 11 days or 10 to 11 days somewhere.
Right. So how were you when you took a break due to your treatment in hospital and stuff? How were you doing in terms of each time station has a cutoff, right? So how were you doing in terms of that? Were you in any danger of not meeting the cutoffs at that time?
I don't think so, because I had done the first 3 days. I had done more than 1,000 miles.
You have built a lot of buffer
Yeah,
by that
I had built
time.
massive amount of buffer. So we were not, and the next cutoff is actually Mississippi River, the Mississippi
Hmm.
River crossing. So I think we were only worried about that, but yeah, but we were not worried about all those cutoffs. As long as you can reach within 12 days, it doesn't
Right.
matter. So
Hmm.
uh, I started feeling strong back again, and that is why I was able to ride again and for 31 hours, and I was, you know,
Right.
so
So
yeah.
why I was asking about the cutoffs is, till now, in the previous attempts, we've always worried about not reaching the cutoffs, right? In most of the RAM attempts from our guys, it's
Yes,
always been, are are you able to make to the next time station in time? But now
yeah,
you are in a in a state where you, even after falling sick, you were not in a danger of missing the cutoffs. That is like a massive difference from our earlier days in ultra cycling to now, I think,
yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. It is a big improvement, and so now the Indian riders are not thinking about just finishing the race. They are actually racing the race, and they are actually so it's a very big thing for Indian cycling actually, for
Definitely.
Indian cycling community, because Kabir, myself, Srini. So we were not thinking just to finish the race. We were actually racing, and we were trying to get as close in the first top three positions. So which is a great thing to happen actually. Which is
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah.
You know,
So
we are Indian, cycling fans, and the dot watchers are no longer losing their nails, biting them, looking at the because we are looking. We always been like. close to cutoff? Are we going to make it? Or from earlier days, 2010, 11 onwards, when
Yes,
Samim Rizvi started and all that, right? So now to
a very,
now,
very big thing, and
yeah,
I think this time the Indian cycling community got massive entertainment, isn't it?
it
Massive,
is
yeah, and I'm actually happy about it because that people are there are so many. I'm getting messages from so many people, so many cycling groups, so many cyclists all across the country. That it was really amazing. That you really, you even after such a big problem and 19 hours of stoppage time, and we were still we were able to get back into the race and be there. So it's a really great time for Indian cycling because I think this has never
definitely.
happened before.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Three of you guys finishing strong.
yes,
Very and not just competing within yourselves, but competing with the others.
yes,
Other ultra cyclists from all around the world.
yes.
Is absolutely great to see.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
great to
It
see.
was really, it is, I think, very good, because,
Yeah.
and I think the dot watching has gone 10 times more than ever, or even more than that.
Definitely, and very happy dot watching as well,
Yeah,
uh, with a different kind of focus, not worrying about any cutoffs, but actually worrying, looking at where you are in the race,
yes,
who is
yes,
who is ahead, who is behind, and all that,
yes.
right? Yeah,
It's amazing,
fan
really amazing. Like
amazing,
for uh, for the Indian cycling is it's really good.
right?
It will
Definitely,
encourage a lot of people. It will actually inspire a lot of people. So, so
definitely.
what we want to do. So our objective is achieved, isn't it?
Absolutely. I was just talking to Srini the other day, and he shared the similar sentiment, saying, three of you finishing is something that will boost the ultra cycling community further in India, right? Uh,
Yes.
Absolutely. So after your break and then continuous cycling of 32 hours, how did the second half of your RAM go?
Yeah, the second half was, I think, yeah, of course, we lost a lot of time, and actually then my crew was also a little less aggressive on me because then when they made me to stop and take specific sleep breaks because I was sick, and I was in hospital, so they were very worried. So I wanted to ride as I was telling you, like I still wanted to ride after 32 hours because I said I'm feeling good. I'm not even sleepy. So why don't I ride? But then they were little less aggressive and very conservative. They said you should take proper breaks and give some recovery to your body so that you can keep going like this. And
Hmm.
you will definitely catch up with lot of guys because after the break I was like stoppage. I was the last guy. I was like down in the whole thing, and
Yeah.
from there, yeah. Uh, so they were little less aggressive, and then they were letting me sleep little more. Actually, after if you see the sleep breaks after that, they are little longer in duration. So that it allows me to recover fully
How
and
long were these? 2-3 hours?
yeah, little. One of them was more than 3 hours. Then there was one break which I think was almost 4 hours. So three and a
Hmm.
half to 4 hours. And then the other breaks were like 2 hours, 2 hours like that.
Hmm.
So there was one break which was very long, and because they said that it will help you. So the team decision was, to of course, we wanted to be aggressive, but not like very aggressive that it starts hurting my health again.
Hmm.
And so my crew was really, they really took care of me, and they were, and I can means from their point of view, they were doing right because they were making me sleep little more so that I am able to keep riding and finish the race. So we were, then we were very hopeful that we will finish somewhere in between 10 to 11 days. And
Right.
yeah, but then there were some weather problems also later on, and we lost a lot of time in because of rain. Also, there was a lot of rain in near in Ohio and all, and massive rain, and so we lost. But yeah, I was able to progress in the rain, but the progress was very slow because of the rains, and I was riding in the night time, and then there were some patches where the road was all scraped off. There was one patch where the road was almost scraped off for new road construction for almost 10-12 kilometers. It was
Wow.
all scrapped off, and it was all downhill,
Hmm.
scraped off road downhill in rain. You know, if you fall on that scrapped road, you will be all,
You'll be leaving the most of your skin on the road then.
you know that. So I had to be very careful about it. So because of that we slowed down, but we kept on progressing in the rain,
Hmm.
and but it was very slow, and I think that is where we lost some more time, but we couldn't help because the weather was not so great.
Right. Right. But were there any further challenges in progressing and completing within the time?
Uh, no, no, there were not many. No, not such any challenge. The only thing is like I think we took little longer sleep breaks, little
Hmm.
so, and the
But you
weather.
had to do that because it is better to be safe than sorry, and I'm
Yeah,
sure your crew would have done the calculations in terms of what is needed for you to kind of cover the distance within 11 days or so, right? So,
yes, yes, yeah. So, yeah, and then I think I did the Appalachian that whole range very strongly. I didn't had any problem while climbing again and all, and I think yeah, that I think it was all good after
how
that.
are you doing? How are you doing in terms of because the break meant that you went down to almost last position. Were you making up time on others and overtaking them?
Yeah, from last position, I actually finished sixth. So it is. I think it's a good recovery.
Amazing recovery! Amazing recovery!
I could have done like if you calculate the time lost due to the time stoppage because of the medical problem and all. If you calculate that time, I could have been in top three easily. So,
Right.
so yeah, I think it's a yeah in a it's a very I'm also in a big conflict right now in my mind because at one side I want to be very happy because I I went to the I went to hospital and all. I got a medical problem, and then still I was able to ride strong in the race and finish the race. So, and then at other part of my mind is like, I lost so much of time. This, that I could have been in top three very easily, and I could have been anywhere in the top three. So it is a big conflict for me also as a person, and
No, but see, the thing is, you almost did not
uh,
almost did not make it, right? So that. instead of ending up, if doctors were to have had their say, you should have been in the hospital for 3 4 days. That would certainly mean that it was end of your RAM, right?
Sure,
But
yeah.
you were able to get out of that situation and successfully complete the race, and that too in very respectable time. But it is, I completely understand, the conflict,
Uh,
because you would have always, that those calculations. Okay, 19 hours, if it were not for those 19 hours, I would have done in like 10 days, and a few hours, and that would put you on the, on the top 3 or whatever, right? All those calculations will be there, but the situation that you end up being in, how do you deal with that reality, and how effectively can, do you deal with that reality and come out of it, and
yeah.
come out of the other end successfully, right? So, and I think you and your crew have done a fantastic job in that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
crew has done fantastic job, and they and given that we had a quite a new members in our crew, and some of the crew members I was meeting for the first time in my life. So it was a mix of my old crew team was only 3 4 people, and then all the other guys were all new people, and we had people from US also, who were driving the cars and all, and so I think they really gelled together, and they all worked together, and in this difficult situation, and they were able to handle it, uh, and we were able to handle together. Otherwise, of course, we would have packed our bags in Colorado itself and and gone
I
home.
know.
Oh yeah. So I think it's a big achievement for the crew team, because given that there were so many new members in our crew team, and
Hmm.
they all there's not a single person who I could say like, okay, he was not good enough or something like that. Everybody came together and gelled together in very small amount of time, and this is a race across America is a high pressure race, and people have to work non-stop 24 hours, and you are meeting new people, and suddenly you have to work with them in a high pressure situation non-stop for 24 hours for whatever 10 to 11 days. It's a very tough thing to do, and you never know, you never know. Some guy would say, no, this is not working for me, I am going off, I am not part of this, I don't want to do this. But there was not a single member or something, this kind of an incident happened,
Hmm.
and they all stuck to the plan, and they all worked together.
Amazing. Yeah, the crew is such a crucial part of the whole,
Who can
whole
break
experience.
this thing?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, what was your, nutrition look like? What did your nutrition look like this time as compared to the last time you have done RAM?
Yeah, this time I was good. Last time I was not very great at drinking that Ensure thing, that Ensure Plus. But this time I mentally prepared myself that no matter what, how I feel, I'm gonna drink a lot of those Ensures every day, at least 12 or 15 of them, because one bottle gives you 350 calories, which is a quite a significant amount of calories. So I was drinking, and so Ensure was the most important thing. Ensure, then khichdi, a lot of khichdi, and then boiled potatoes, hash browns, and ice cream. So, and gulab jamun. These were like my 4 5 main important items which I was consuming a lot. And then the other stuff like sandwich, this that. Uh, so rice, boiled potato, ensure, khichdi and gulab jamun was
Hmm.
the you know most important thing for me. Of course, then hydration and all was there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. So how many calories were you consuming per day roughly?
Yeah, we were like our aim was to get to 8,000 calories at least, 8 to
Hmm.
10,000 calories. So some days I was able to keep it very good. Some days, I think we were not able to uh, yeah, get that many calories. So yeah, definitely the day I did well in the nutrition, I was riding well. It was
Hmm.
very significant. The day I was not properly able to, I was like little slower, and I was not like happy
Yeah.
about my playing. So it was more.
Nutrition plays a huge role.
Nutrition is everything. I think it's a eating competition in itself. The more you
Eh,
can eat and keep it down in the stomach, the more you are gonna feel better.
Right. Yeah, like we were saying in the last time we were talking about ultra cycling and nutrition. It is mostly eating competition that
Yes,
how much can you eat, how much can you keep it down while actually riding the bike non-stop, right?
yes.
Uh, Amazing, amazing. So, I think now this time your family was also with you. Your wife and kid were also part of the
Yeah,
crew. How
and
was?
my son was also there in the crew. And last time also he was there, but he was very very small. Like he was like 6 year old. This
Right.
time he's like 12-year old, and now he understands everything, and he can do all the work like any other crew member.
Mm,
So it was a very important experience for him, at this age to see something like RAM and all. And my wife was also there, and then all our crew team members.
mm-hmm. Amazing. So you were raising funds for a charity,
Yeah.
Akshayapatra. So how much did you guys manage to raise through this campaign, and how did
Yeah,
that aspect of the whole thing go?
Yeah, so Akshayapatra Foundation has a sister organization in US, which is Akshayapatra US, which only does fundraising for Akshayapatra India. So the Akshayapatra US team, they the CEO and all, we had a meeting, like we had an online meeting with him, and their team also came to meet us at the start of the race. And um, so we were, so actually the idea of fundraising of Akshay Patra US was to, to appeal to all the American Indians, because there are 4 million American Indians in America. And
Right.
so the idea was to appeal to them to donate for this. Mile a child challenge and race against hunger. So the idea was just like race across America, we will do race against hunger, because if we are able to raise significant amount, then there is a significant amount of children who get benefited out of that. So we
Right.
actually raised around $39,500, which Akshay Patra USA had was able to raise during this uh, whole race across America. And it was equally matched by another NGO in Washington DC, which also works on child hunger and nutrition issues. So they also matched it equally. So now it has,
Amazing.
yeah, so it has almost gone to $80,000, which almost
Oh,
is like
beautiful.
6 lakh rupees raised for Akshayapatra Foundation. So which is actually I think quite a significant amount, 60
Definitely.
rupees, and so I think it's a very I think it's a successful campaign. No, I think it's a successful race, and and also successful race across America. I think that so if you look at it in that way, from the earlier race across America, this is a far more bigger success than just finishing the race. Like you are able to raise so much amount of funds for charity, and there are so many people who are following your race. So another advantage of this whole thing was, what happened is so many American Indians got to know about race across America,
See?
and
Yeah.
they also started this whole dot watching, and following the riders and all. Otherwise, of course, race across America has a huge following in India, in the Indian cycling community. But now it has, the American Indians also, because of Akshayapatra, this whole campaign. They are now they A lot of people came to know about this race. Otherwise, they didn't
Hmm.
know about this whole thing.
Right. Because of all this whole campaign, the cyclists and the fans that were following your progress got to know about Akshay Patra, and
Yes.
the campaign that was going on in America in terms of fundraising for
Yeah.
through Akshay Patra Foundation, introduced a lot of people to cycling and the ultra cycling
Yeah,
aspect.
a lot of
So it
people. Like,
is mutually kind of
massive.
working at.
So yeah, even in Nagpur also, and everywhere, like so many common people following race across America, because there is a local guy from Nagpur who is riding in race across America. So they are more excited to follow it. So a lot of common people, they are like morning walkers, and they are not even like some very serious athletes or something, or they are just simple morning walkers, but they are also following it. So and they are telling my mother, my father, that, oh, today Amit is here, today Amit is there. So that is also a good thing. If we do this more and more, the more general people will start following cycling, and
Yeah,
it's the
definitely.
sport. I think it's a very good time for Indian cycling. You know, these things are happening.
Definitely, I couldn't agree more with you because this year I think all three of you successfully finishing and finishing strong has you would have inspired a lot many people into ultra cycling as well, right? Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely, definitely. So, what were the main learnings from this outing of your race across America when compared to your last time there?
Yeah, main learning, I think was, I think, yeah, maybe I need more altitude training and all before something like race across America. I think
Hmm.
this time I was not able to do any like lot altitude training or something, because we went just 1 week before to US, before the race, and we were not. So I think that might be the only missing thing. Otherwise there wouldn't have been this problem coming,
Right.
and maybe I need more bigger gears, higher gears in my, like lower gears in my bikes. Maybe I need another bike which is really configured for hill climbing.
Climbing hill.
I think I think those were the main learnings, and I think for me it's a good big achievement, because in I'm doing this races back to back. Like I did Srinagar to Kanyakumari in March, and then in June I was there for race
Yeah,
across Africa. So
it's
so
quite
it
close.
was, yeah, so it is a very very busy last 6 months for me, because I was part of the organizing team of Race Across India, and then we organized Race Across India, and then after
Crazy
doing
schedule. See
yeah,
race across India, planning, then the campaign to spread the word about race across India, touring all the cities, and then actually organizing it successfully and taking part in the race, and finishing that strongly. And then afterwards, the media commitments and the tours around, going around, spreading the word further. And then came race across America. This is, I mean, what all went, what all you have achieved in
yeah.
these last six
See, these
months
are very
My
aggressive
God.
goals. Yeah, very, very aggressive. I think I have been very, what do you say, very, I would say, I'm being very demanding on myself to do all this, uh,
Exactly, yeah.
uh, and uh, uh, and I train because when we after Race Across India, like all our team is like just recovering out of this whole thing, and we were like in the after organizing Race Across India, like it went all the way till end of March, because we were
Hmm.
just winding up Race Across India, and then end of March, and then that there was no confirmation, and I had already started training, and I'm saying like I'm gonna do RAM this year, I'm gonna do RAM, and then all the other team members like suddenly, oh, this guy is gonna do RAM also this year, so 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 where all these funds are gonna come from. I said I don't know. This year we are gonna do, and let's see. And we created the whole project of Race Across America within a span of 2 months. It
Yeah,
was
because we did
within
not.
a
I mean, we when we talked after race across India, also, you did not really solidify the plans
uh,
by that time, also, right?
uh, we solidified the plan almost in the end of last week of April. So last
Wow,
week, last week of April, and but yeah, I think
amazing.
I'm telling people, like just if you have, like if you dream it, believe it, you will achieve it. So,
It is also kudos to the team around you, right? That is, they do some heavy lifting, as I can see. Otherwise, without that kind of team behind you, team working with you, it is really impossible to do all these things that you have achieved in these last 6 months or so, right?
yeah, so I think personally it's a very big achievement.
Mm.
Last 6 months there is a massive this getting these two big races done is a very big achievement in itself.
Definitely, definitely. Man, congrats again, Amit. It's great to see your passion and the results out of that hard work that you guys are putting. It is fantastic to see the kind of growth that you guys are contributing to in ultra cycling in India. I congrats again, and I wish you all the very best for the next.
Yeah, thank you, Venki, and thanks for opportunity again to be on your podcast. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome again. Thank you. That was my conversation with Amit Samarth. I hope you enjoyed this. If you are enjoying these podcasts and are finding them useful, please consider supporting the podcast by subscribing to it on YouTube as well as on your favorite podcasting app. It really helps. Also, supporting the sponsors of the podcast is a great way to support the podcast itself. This episode is brought to you by thebikeaffair.com. Thanks again for your continuous support. See you next week with another guest.